my lesson is that adding figures to a painting will always enliven it, because as people, we always, our eyes naturally gravitate to the human form. So if you have a huge landscape at a beach or at a farm, and if you put a figure in there right away, that will become the focal point. So I also want to thank Bill Prickett, who's helping me with the tech part, and my wife Maria, who's been greeting you, and for helping me and supporting me in all this. I think what I want to do first is do a little short demo of doing the people. You guys all did people with pencil, and I will do a couple with, let's say this is well, I'll do a larger one, a 4-inch person. And there's the middle, the top, bottom, and then let's say I do another one in the distance, 2.5, 1.25. Okay. I also want to reinforce the importance of putting out fresh paint. I've got brand new puddles of paint here. If you try to mess around with sticky, gummy paint from last week, you're really just going to frustrate yourself. And I also will make a plea to just save your bounty towels or your paper towels, because unless they're really thin, if you have a good quality, you can use them week to week. There's no reason to fill up your trash can with paper towels. Okay. Any other life's lesson I can do? Okay. What's that? Well, yeah, and I'm gonna when we look at my drawing before I start, I'm going to show you some things that I took out and simplified, and you might want to do the same. But anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of raw sienna or yellow ochre, and I'm going to just kind of put a little dab up here. Ray, can you close that door? And I'll grab some blue, and I'll just push that blue up around into the head. Now remember, the shoulders are the width of another head on either side. So I'll pull this down. The arms come down a little bit below the waist. I'll grab a little bit of red. I should have done it the other way around, but this guy's going to have. Well, let's say these are red shorts. So then I'll finish off with a little bit of the raw sienna. Boop, boop. And don't get too fussy with shoes and things. You can kind of look like a figure has anvils on the bottom of his feet if you get too messed up with that. Let me get another one. Okay. This person is going to be seen from the side, a little bit distance, and I'll do red up at the top here. I'm going to push that red up a little bit. And the heads right now are just these yellow blobs. I can take a little touch of color while it's still wet and sort of touch in a little bit of the hair. And I'm telling you that this person here is on a cell phone. That's why that arm is sticking out to the side like this. Right? Even if in the farmer's market, she's calling her friend saying, "What is it? What do we need for that recipe?" or something like that. So you can do all kinds of things with the shapes of figures. One of you, I think, Ann, you had somebody mowing the lawn with a reel mower, one of those old reel mowers. All right, so that's sort of a quickie on figures.
Did you do a dog?
Yeah, you do a dog, and let me do a figure next to a figure. Here's another. This guy got his buddy with him. Maybe just. You don't want to be too fussy. Like say, okay, this is a belt. This is a you know. A little bit of dark up at the top. Yeah, we got a couple of figures. Not very interesting poses, but most of the people in our in our picture, and these are some I've done in the past. Here you got, and sometimes the colors will bleed from one figure into the other, and that's okay. These are pictures of painting friends of mine at easels or kneeling at a small easel. Farmer carrying buckets. All right, so I'm going to put all this aside. All right. Now, you see my drawing here. Let me tell you a few things I changed, even since the video I sent you. I've got a tree over here that's mainly green, nice summery look. These are pine trees, pretty dark on this side. I got rid of that other tree in the middle, that one that's kind of a silvery. I thought, why do I need 3 trees in the background? I like that mountain, and I really wasn't seeing much of it before. So I'm bagging that middle tree. Just skip it. I want there to be a feeling of air and light coming in. I have this figure, this tall guy here with his hands in his pocket in the photograph. I've got him giving his son some money. So I've got 2 figures down here, and that will sort of be my focal point. A little bit off center. It's 1/3 of the way up. I've got a couple women over here, and they're right at the edge of your photograph. I push them over so that they're not sort of running off the edge. I've got 3 figures here I want to keep in light. They're in shadow in the photograph, but I want to keep them in light. So I'm going to have 2, 2, 3, and then maybe 1 over this lady that's in orange. I'm having her in a slightly different, walking pose. So I'm going to do that. Now, Ann Pearson, you asked a good question on an email. You said, what happened to the whole touching three edges? Well, before I started, here's my thumbnail sketch. I made a line over here for the height of the tents. I made a line here for the eye level of most of the people in the background. And then a couple lines up here showing me where the trees would cut in. And then this is the line where the sunlight is going to zigzag around some of the shadows to come into that distant section. So I did, before I started dropping people in, I did make a few marks on my page so that I knew where they were. Oh, by the way, this guy is not going to be exactly in the center. I like him off center. All right, put the sketch away. Okay. So in the past, you've seen me cover almost half the page with a sky or a foreground. And this time I want to preserve my people. So I'm going to paint all the figures first and some of the very light tones of the tables. And we'll just see how this goes. I'm going to do about, okay, here's this figure here, Papa. He's got his arm coming down there, got a couple of legs.
What color do you use for that kind of color?
Yeah, I'm using raw sienna. It's a kind of a yellowy color. There we got that guy, him, and now I'm going to look, make sure. Okay, now this. This is this blonde girl here. I gotta be careful. I want to keep some light there, but not too much. If I want someone with a slightly darker complexion, I can get a little burnt umber. So this person is sort of standing there, a little bit of an arm over there. She's got the longer legs, shorter pants, shorter shorts, and her complexion is a little bit darker, more olive. And if you have an African American tone, add a little bit of cerulean blue, and you get a good dark, nice rich skin tone there. Okay, I'm gonna, before this fella dries out too much, I'm gonna take my cerulean blue. And I'm gonna give him a shirt. Down here. And I'll put some of that burnt umber down here for his khaki pants. I want to get this so that I can blend some of these colors together so that they're not quite like postage stamps. Get a little color up there. And what color is the boy? He's got a dark blue shirt on. And I'm using a pretty darn large brush here. And I'll give him some khaki pants. Okay, let's get a couple more figures here.
You did not wet the paper first, right, Ned?
No, I didn't wet the paper either. So I'm going on pretty dry. And I forgot to give her arm color, so I'm going to jump back into that. You know, I'm just jumping around here. This is a little bit of a bent leg down there. I go back to my photograph. This woman is in blue, so I'll throw a little bit of blue in there. I'm going to go around. I have this woman's carrying a handbag, so I'm going to watch. Yeah, get some blue pants on. Put a little bit of a diagonal mark there down to a bag. I'm not being very good about cleaning my brush because I'm trying to move quickly, but here's the little boy walking. Now in the picture, he's walking toward you. It's not a big deal, but in my mind, he's walking away.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's get some of these. Now, this girl over here has a white T-shirt. I'm taking a little bit of. I want to leave the white of the paper. So I'm gonna put the shadow color. I'm gonna go around her arm, and you see how she's got some color coming up, or that shadow shape is going sort of around her butt and up her back a little bit. And I'm going to leave that so the shirt stays white. She's got pretty dark
What's the
color.
shadow color?
What's that?
It's the shadow color.
Yes, I'm just doing the shadow shape, really. And she's got kind of those stretchy pants, so they're very tight fitting here. So not a lot of baggy cuffs. Right down to her calves, there's that. So she's about done. I'm gonna do this woman over here. She's got fairly dark hair. Taking a little bit of burnt sienna, which is kind of the reddish brown. She's a dark-haired woman. Get that in there, and then now she's got this handbag or a backpack. I like the stripe on it, so I'm going to paint around that. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she's got sort of khaki pants. I don't want to be slavish to the photograph, but it's helping me make some decisions here. There she is. And I'll give her a little bit of shadow down this leg. A little bit of shadow here. Again, I'm giving, the sun is coming from this side, so the shadows on their legs are going to be on the right side. I'm going to give him one here too. Kick this kid in here, and I said I wanted one other. I'm going to stop in a minute. I'm going to get this one last figure in. And I'm going to give you time to do some work. The next steps will be bigger landscapey sections, but I'm going to get this woman here. In your picture, she's in orange. I'm not really wild about that very long t-shirt she's got, but I'll go with the orange. A little gamboge. That'll be a nice bit of color on that one. And I'm going to say she's got some short blue pants. I don't want to push that color all the way down. A little bit of blue in there. And she's got a handbag off to the side. I'm going to push that over there. Do 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, I said I'd do 8, and I guess I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna give you a chance to work on a bunch of figures. This lady doesn't quite have. She's the blonde one, so I'm not gonna paint her hair way at the top. I'm gonna leave this and come back. I'm gonna give this guy a little bit of a hat. I do like his red hat.
Okay, so enjoy your walk.
Okay,
What's
off you
that
go.
brush?
Oh gosh, I've got a pretty darn big one. This is like a number 10 or a number 8. Don't get real teeny, because then you'll be thinking about putting ears and eyelashes and little features in belt buckles. That'll get you really tied up.
You have a bigger piece of paper than I do, so
I do have a bigger piece of paper. So these are different size brushes here. You could go with this with some water in it. It'll get a nice point. You can get some more detail. Boy, I don't even know what number that is. Probably number 6, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to be sort of loose. We'll take about, I think that I've been about 13 minutes so far. So I'm going to give you guys some time to paint. And then I'll come back and we'll work on sky and background. All right. So I'm going to, Bill, should I pause my recording or just leave it? Okay. And if you guys have questions, sometimes the questions are helpful in the recordings too. Oh, I know what I want to do. Shoot. No. No, I remember. I want to save some of these lights. I'm going to put these the tablecloths. So basically, I'm doing my light figures And I'm doing some of these tablecloths. I do want to get these tablecloths in, so and these are going to be fairly light. I want to get the color of the figures. This is what kept me up at night, wondering what order I was going to do everything. Yes, I do want to get this red tablecloth. I'm not going to worry about the what you call it,
And the people behind and inside the tent?
I'm not going to do any of them. They're all going to be in shade, so I'm going to let that go, at least for now. So these are the red covers for those tents. I'm painting them around the figures. There's another red one right there. Yep. Yep. Who's that? Is that my phone?
Oh, sorry, here.
Okay, so I did add those tablecloths, the red, yellow, a little bit of purple in the foreground. And now I'm definitely stopping.
What happens when the tote bag goes into her face? The water.
What's that, Woody?
The strap from her tote bag goes right. The water is still wet, and the strap goes right up into her face.
Oh dear.
All right.
What color did you use for that yellow in that one? Yeah,
I think I use the aureolin yellow or permanent yellow. It could be a lemon yellow.
I think I use Camden.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's pretty, that's it's a good strong color. You know, these are all your light, colorful values. It's expressing summertime and hot sunlight. All right, how are people doing on figures? We're going to move to another step. Anne Marie, how are you doing? Your microphone is off.
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe one more minute, but you know.
That's fine, that's fine. Did you get some of the tablecloths in?
Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet, just
Yeah,
figures.
yeah, put a few. We won't do the tents right now, but if you want to put some of those tablecloths, the ones that are in sunlight,
Okay,
and you know, I went with blue and yellow and something, but you know, if you want to, if you've got a figure wearing red pants and you got a red tablecloth next to it, that's not going to look good. You can always change the tablecloth to another color.
right, yeah.
But you and I have done these scenes up at West Tisbury where people are walking the entire time. That's
I know, I know. It's something to be able to put something in place and it stays there.
That's right. They're waiting in line for Morning Glory Farm. They might be standing still for about 1 minute. That's all you got.
That's it. It's got to be quick.
How did you say you make black?
I don't make black, but I mean, I use a dark blue and a dark red make a pretty dark color.
I was just gonna say that it's nice that it didn't start raining the way it does on the vineyard occasionally.
Yeah,
And then
we've
you're
had that.
painting under the porch.
That's right. We've had that happen before too. There's some positives to be working indoors through the winter. Okay, I'm gonna start on the next step, which will be putting some sky in, which which involves floating some water on the paper first. But I'm going to also use that sky color to cover all the tents on the left-hand side of the picture. I'll keep the other tents fairly bright, but all the others will be a slight tone. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? I hate
Sure.
would it be, I think the word is suicidal for me to have a woman in the foreground, say her hat, really in the foreground, like in the lower left-hand corner, like a big
Sure.
sun hat on,
Yeah.
who's bigger than anyone else? You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right. Right. As long as her head,
I'm not sure if I like it.
as long as her head is at the sort of similar eye level to most of the others, you don't want to have her head above the tents. That would look like a
No, her head would be about the size of a 50-cent piece in the lower left-hand corner.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, and then the legs would go down almost to the bottom.
No, you wouldn't see her legs. You just see the
Okay.
back of her neck and hat and kind of.
Yeah. So she'd be a really big foreground figure, like Bruegel used to do.
Yeah, Bruegel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruegel. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pick up my my largest brush, my kind of a squirrel brush. Doesn't even have a name on it, and I'm going to put pure water across the whole top half of this painting. And if you have a sponge, you can maybe use the sponge to put it on now. I gotta be a little bit careful. I'm going to go around the tents. So I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna go water around the tents. It's sort of like pyramids over here, like it could be like the Great Pyramids. The Great Pyramids of the Farmers Market. Okay. Okay, now this water is coming all the way down and even through the center, that middle tent down at the bottom there. And it's going to go all the way down. Now I'm going to go around my figures, the ones I've just done. I'm going to go just down to about where the grass would start. All this is covered. Go around my people. Okay, I'm going to keep this tent light. But underneath the tent, I'm going to have some tone. Oh boy, oh boy. And some of that color is going to go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, just check it. Okay, so it's a sunny summer morning. It's a warm summer morning. So I'm going to take a little bit of my aureolin and I'm going to throw it. It's too pale. I'm going to throw it right up in through there. Come on, a little bit more, a little bit more heat in there. There we go. All right. Dabbing, dab, 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 throw. All right, now I'm going to take some cerulean and some ultramarine. I think I like the ultramarine better. This is a nice, here we go. Come on, keep this.
That's cerulean.
Yeah, no, it's really ultramarine. I put some cerulean down. I didn't really like the looks of it. Okay, throwing this on down. And look, I'm painting right over all these tents, even that one right in the straight back, except not the ferry. All right, I'm going to take, because all of this stuff on the left-hand side is in shadow because the sunlight is coming from the left. It's illuminating all of our figures on the right. But everyone on the left side is going to be just silhouetted. Underneath that tent, I'm putting a little bit of color underneath the tent here. I'm just killing all the white, really. Going around his shirt.
And what color are you using in those areas?
This is just this ultramarine blue, maybe a little touch of cerulean in it, so it's not just pure blue color right out of the tube. Ooh. All right, now I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna let you, if you want to throw a little pink or a little yellow right where the mountain and the sky hit, you could do that, and then throw, while it's wet, throw the blue on there. And once you put the blue on, you don't want to fuss with it too much. I'm gonna have a little bit stronger blue on the right here. And there we go. I'm going to take a break now. That wasn't very long. And let you carefully really cover about half your painting with that sky color.
And the yellow was for,
Just the feeling of a little bit of a morning glow. Yeah, I don't like a flat blue at the top. It's just a little bit boring, but maybe that's just me.
Did you use a flat brush?
What's that?
A flat brush or a round brush?
I was using a flat, but you can use a round.
Is there a reason I'm seeing a person all the time instead of seeing the painting?
Yeah, me too.
You're
I
seeing
see
what?
you. The one who just said it, me too, is the one I'm always seeing.
Oh, Jennifer, you're popping up. There we
Yeah,
go. Now
I
the
keep
painting's
getting
up,
other
right?
people on the main screen.
Okay, if any of you speak, you will become the screen.
Right, but I wasn't speaking and I've got Woody on the screen all the time, or I've got
No.
somebody else.
If you go to the picture of the painting,
Yeah,
the screen, and you click on it, you'll see 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner.
yeah,
And click on those dots and say
Yeah.
pin, click
yeah.
on, and that will pin the painting.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. I didn't know what pin meant, but now I do.
And that's a major thing, unless you don't want to see me, you know. So that's the pin unpin is a good deal.
Okay, thank you.
I still see you. I don't see the picture. What am I supposed to do?
Look all over this. Are you on gallery view?
I don't know what I'm on.
Well, you got to get everybody up and then there'll be two frames that are Neds and one is the picture and then pin that one.
Okay. How do I find gallery view?
Okay,
Up in the top corner.
right where it says view.
Top right corner.
I don't have that.
Your screen.
I do not have that. Oh, now I see the picture.
Okay, you see the view?
Oh, now I see you. Just talking,
Okay,
because the picture came back. Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
okay, so up in the top corner of your screen, you should
Yes.
see a little icon, it's a little box and 3 dots and it has the word
No.
view next to
No.
it, no?
Nope.
Can you turn your screen around
Huh?
and hold it up? Is that possible? Do you have a laptop or a desktop?
I have a computer. Desktop. I mean a laptop.
You have a laptop? Oh, so I
Roberta,
can't,
Desktop.
yeah, you don't have the camera. What am I thinking?
Roberta, it's got to be on your screen somewhere. If it's not on the top right, I know you've done this before. It's somewhere
I
else on
know, but I can't find it now.
some corner of the screen will have the word view.
Take your mouse up to the very far
I'm
corner.
not using a mouse.
Oh,
Oh, view. Okay, when I touch this, I get view. Okay. Nope, lost it again. Goes away.
Yeah, you just got to hover over it.
Went away again. How does that happen? Ah, got it.
Okay, click on it.
I want gallery view, right?
Right.
Now I see everybody.
Okay, now find the,
Ah, got it. And click on it.
yep.
Yeah, right.
See the 3 dots in the top corner?
Oh, all right, let's try again. No,
When you click on the picture of the painting, there's no 3 dots?
I can't bring the picture up. Oh, I see it. Okay, never mind. Just blind, that's all. Okay, but nothing happens. Touch the 3 dots.
Click it, yeah. And you should have the choice of pin.
Nope, it's just a hand. Oh, now it come up. All right, pin.
Yep,
Go on pin.
Yep.
Ah, love you. Terrific.
All right, I'm going to move along here. We're gonna get the green of the grass in with some dark shadow tones. And then we'll do a little bit of, the tints aren't all that tricky to do. So I may do the greens and the tints next. I'm being careful. I don't want to paint the tints while the sky is still too wet, because then they'll bleed. But my sky is trying to set up. So, okay, stay with me. We need to get the other half of the painting covered, and that's that bottom half with the green. I'm going to float water in through here. Again, I'm going around my figures. This is why I did the figures first. I just bring the water around them, basically pushing it down. And if the water goes over their feet, I don't really worry about that, because the feet can have some other colors on them. Okay, push, 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 push. Okay, down, down. Downward strokes on these on this water around the vertical figures. Got a big hair. Okay. Between her legs, I'm gonna have green. So I want to make sure I don't paint green into those legs. Look kind of crazy. All right, how we doing?
So from the basic opposite training, yep.
Really? Okay, I'm going into my Aureolin yellow, or almost any Naples yellow works, permanent yellow. And I'm going to get a little cerulean blue. Mix the two of them together.
Yep, yep.
And I've got a fairly light green. Here we go. Again, it's just following the water. Wherever you put water, this green will go. Around his legs, between these two figures.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't mind leaving a little bit of white on the edge. I don't mind leaving a little bit of white at the edge of some of these figures, because it makes it look like sunlight hitting them.
America's. Okay. Okay, simplify America's fun. Good.
Okay, you guys watching me, or are you painting yourselves? I don't really know. No. Yeah, blanket. Now I just got some blue stuck in my brush. That drives me nuts.
Been awarded, so the Semper Fi Fund has been awarded the highest, continue?
All right. Ooh, there's a nice green down there, boy.
December 5 fund has been awarded the highest charity ratings among charities.
Okay, now. All right, now that's just yellow and blue. And I'm gonna now get some tint colors in here because I think this is dry enough. Yep. Okay, I got a red, I got a purple.
Those sort of look like out of the tube reds and blues, don't they, on the tents? But they're, I mean, I know you won't.
Yeah, they
make
do.
But
Well,
they're,
they do. There's one in here that's sort of purplish, so I'm going to get a little blue and alizarin, ultramarine blue and alizarin, but I want to keep it light. Now, of these tents, each one has a light side on the left and a little slightly darker where it's away from the sun. So here's a purple. I'm going to throw this baby in here, and I'm going to do the entire tent, light side and dark side, and underneath.
Okay, so we have 130 million grants. Have you assisted more than just continue to that line?
Okay, there's one tent. I'm going to go to a bluish one. Wow, that's really pale down there. There's a bluish one down here. A little bit of cerulean. It's barely any color at all. Let's get a little more color into it.
When you're done, do you need your paints to dry? Is there not your little section on your palette?
I spray them.
And that would be
Spray.
2003 again.
I spray them with water, and then I put a sponge in the palette, and then they stay a little bit longer. They last a little bit longer. Okay, that's a blue one. And then I'm going to see a little bit of a purpley one at the end. Oh, the heck with it. I'll make it a little more red.
Since then,
Going to have this one be kind of a reddish color.
so when we gathered.
All right, now I've got my nice big blue tent up front here. Cerulean blue and ultramarine. And I want to keep it pale on one side. But the whole thing is going to be painted light and dark side all at once. There goes that. And now I've got to hit my red. Now this should be just dark enough. Okay, a little alizarin and the cadmium, and here we go, red. Oops. Oh, come on, get out of here.
I know.
is it more CAD than alizarin? But
A little bit of both, I guess.
okay.
I got to keep it fairly light on this light side, so I'm putting more water in it. There we go. That's lighter. Coming down here. Going around that purple tent. Coming down around this guy's hat.
And I'll be over talking to lay up people today, so, yeah, I'll let you know what they say, and what you're
And there is some color of the red that comes underneath.
This is great. I really appreciate you calling.
That's red.
It's the red right there, underneath that purple tent.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's that. Now, I don't want to get you guys too
All right, thanks, Pam. Talk to you later.
too goofed up, but this I purposely left my grass and let it dry a little bit, because now I want to put in the shadow tones of the grass down here. So I'm going to get aureolin. This is a critical part here. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna have, ooh, wow, that looks strong, but I'm gonna go with it.
That's aureolin and
What colors? Yeah.
Aureolin and ultramarine. Okay, so
Don't have
this,
aureolin, what could you use?
Naples yellow, what yellows do you have?
I have Naples yellow.
Yep, that works. So that shadow is going behind these people. I remember I want these people to be in sunlight, even though in the photograph they're not in sunlight. I'm going to throw a shadow on the other side of them, almost out to this man. And reload the brush, aureolin and ultramarine. And she's also in some sunlight. You see why you wanted to leave these people, put them in first, because whew, you paint around those shadows. Okay, well, this one, this was there, that was there. Then I'm going to do my trademark splatter across the bottom here. And I do also want to take and notice that under these people all have a little shadow coming out from them. They create a shadow, these figures. And then underneath these tables, there's a pretty dark tone there. You see that? There we go. I've got a pretty darn big brush here. Okay, where's okay, I think I'm at a stopping spot here. I want to get you to do the grass, then go to the tents to let the grass set up a little bit, and then go put in the shadows in the grass and the shadows under the people and under the tablecloths. And I'll let you.
Naples yellow with what?
I like the ultramarine blue, but cobalt blue works.
Okay.
all right, one more time. One more time.
What's that?
Grass is cerulean blue and aureolin, or?
No, the grass was aureolin and ultramarine.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think you told me that already. You repeated. I'm repeating this.
Yeah, I only have gamboge and candy in yellow with
The
ultramarine.
cadmium yellow is a nice bright color.
Okay, the ultramarine.
Don't worry, they're gonna be fun.
I will leave these here for people who need extra.
You need excuses.
No, I need people to get it out of the kitchen.
Oh, right.
Ned, did you wet the grass first before you went down?
I did, yeah.
Thank you.
It just allows the paint to flow. Otherwise you get all these back and forth brush marks. Looks like painting a barn or something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what are we painting next week, a bus terminal?
Yeah.
Let's go with just the bus.
Um,
I'm gonna do my phone in your car.
yeah, Charlie Milligan started cooking sap.
Oh, you did? Already?
He said he got about 3 days worth, and then it wasn't getting warm enough during the days or something. Like, holy smokes, well, I put my stuff in. Yeah, usually it's like end of mid-February, right? Uh-oh, not a good time, oops.
No, it's learning.
Well, you got all green there.
Right, but I took the yellow and put it over by then I picked up to go get some blue.
Yeah.
And brought the yellow over the blue.
Oh,
Let him learn. Let him learn. Yeah, let them do the worst that happens.
When you do watercolor, can you come down and figures on top and sort of after you do it first?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh, you are.
But they're gonna be dark. You know, these two are sort of like, I see them in sunlight.
Right.
I see these people silhouetted. So that blue guy, and this lady
So
here.
you can go over.
Sure.
And then the second thing is what I did to take this,
Yeah,
that's it. I can add stuff on top of it
Yep.
to create interest. Okay.
Would you like it a cookie, Maria? Mountains.
I think so, that's good. You're a team player.
Oh, I have a lizard. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
You keep it one end of that lock. Be careful, keep these fairly light. We have some dark trees back here. If you start darkening up your tents.
So I'm gonna do this out of the car.
Ned, sorry to ask, the shadows on the ground are ultramarine and
Yeah, Aureolin again.
Aureolin. Okay.
Pictures. There's just a lot of people and signs. Light purple. That could work too. This is where you get the color into the paintings and those, and the people in the tents, and everything else is lights and darks. What?
Breathing in the brownie.
All right. Well, we've got a lot of color. We've got the whole paper covered with something, I think, at this point. There are a few light areas left, maybe underneath the tents over there. But we still have a whole, to make the bright colors look exciting, we're going to need to put some darks in, and those will come in the trees. I'm going to put in a mountain first, then a light tree over here, then some pine trees over here. And then these greens that we have back here will pop in underneath these tents on the left. If you look at your photograph, right underneath the edges of those tents, it's very dark. It's as dark as the green up above. So we need to start to put some of those in, and we can put some people in there too, distant people if we want. Okay, so I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna put the mountain in next. And the sky is certainly dry, so it shouldn't be any problem dropping this in without dribbling color or having it blend. I see it as a pretty darn, we think it's mountains, is the purple mountain's majesty, but I see it looking pretty blue. A pale blue though. I'm going to add cerulean and ultramarine. Do I like it like that? I'm going to add a little touch of alizarin. I'm just feeling like it's cerulean and alizarin. Okay. Oh, just pushing. Okay, here we go. Ready? Bang. Push the thing down. If you've hiked these mountains, they're up, then you get this little plateau, and it keeps on going. Boom. I need more color in there. Okay, I'm finishing the mountain off up in here, pushing the mountain colors down. Now, I'm not really painting couple of different blues and then alizarin crimson, mostly blue. And these edges I'm going to keep, go around the tents, but I'm using water. I'm using water down here. I don't want a lot of color. I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, boom. Cerulean. Marie, just try not to keep up with me. Just watch me paint for about 15 minutes, and then I'll give you time to paint. Now I'm going to paint the tree over here next. This is a new gamboge yellow, no, Oriolan yellow with some cerulean blue. Okay. Boom, boom. Right on the edge, it's a fairly bright yellow, and I'm pushing that yellow right into the sky, the mountain color. I'm leaving the edges to look a little bit raggedy. But as the tree moves away from the light, it's going to get darker. So now I'm going to pull in a little ultramarine. Come on, come on, come on. And I'm going to, again, the edges of the tree, the edges have these flicks of the brush stroke, so it looks like leaves. New gamboge yellow and the ultramarine blue. And this is the dark side of this tree. I'm going right down to the edges of these tents. You've got to be careful here. Oop. It's all right. Okay, this tree is not a major player, but it's holding some space there. I'm going to continue with the greens with cerulean and new gamboge. Come on. I can't mix the colors fast enough sometimes. And this is the tree line just behind the tents. I'm not going to get too detailed here.
And Ned, the bright yellow on that tree that's not a player is what again?
That's the Oriolan.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is just lumpy greens back here. And in a couple places I may throw a little bit of dark so that the side away from light is a little bit darker to give it a little three-dimensionality. So it's not just a flat. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. See that? Light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. Okay, now I'm coming into the, I really see two different color trees over here. I'm going to throw some, no, raw sienna, I decided. This is one level of, and I want to leave some holes in here. Raw sienna and ultramarine blue. Get a little more, it's a little darker at the bottom. I'm still going around some of these tents. Leave some holes. Now that's the tree that's in sunlight. Now I've got a tree way in the distance. That's burnt umber. And I can't get a brush big enough here. burnt umber, and ultramarine blue. And I don't really see, we're not really seeing through this tree at all. So come on, big globs of color. This will be one of my darkest darks. I'm going to take a little alizarin crimson. Red is the opposite of green. So if you add red to green, it gets really, really dark. Going down around these tents. Whoop, whoop, to there. Okay, this is the dark tree going across in front of the light tree. I'm trying to keep the brushwork kind of fresh and interesting over here. But I definitely have one in front of the other. Now, I'll do what we did a few days ago. I'm going to take the chisel end of this flat brush. I'm going to scratch in a few lines. These are the indications of the tree here, the branches of the tree, just breaking up some of those darks. And I usually scratch in the darker areas because it stands out better. A little bit on this tree, not much. Okay.
Hey, Case.
You don't want to overdo it. So put it in there and leave it alone. Now I told you, while we've got these dark greens, I'm going to get a smaller brush. And I'm going to I lost my photograph. Okay, I'm going to, underneath these tents, I'm going to get this dark bluish green. I may go around some of those tent poles. I have a couple of little figures sketched in here. I may go around them. I'm not sure. Remember, even those tent poles, which look white now, they are really the old sky blue from one of our first passes. I'm going to come down right to the edge of what seems to be the tabletop. I'm going to go around a couple of other figures. Elaine, this is where I might put some color and put a few extra figures back in the distance here. Okay.
So what you're doing is really simplifying. I mean, it's good. I mean, you're simplifying the background. You're editing and
Oh gosh, yes.
You know, you're not painting everything you see.
No, I can't even see. It's so confusing back there.
Right. No, it's. I get it. It's editing. Deciding what's important.
Right. And I've decided long ago that the people out front were the important ones.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a lighter green underneath this distant white tent. I'm going to go around my red figure here. Go right through all that. Damn it! I think I want to put a few figures here, but I don't.
So that's just less ultramarine blue and a little more
Yep,
Aurelian.
yep. I'm going right down almost to the tabletops. I see a guy there. I'm going to put him in. Now, even underneath here, I've got green. Whew. Oh, brother. Now I'm going around some sort of fake figures behind the tables here. And I may add some figures right near the end that are behind, they're the vendors.
Rendering them to like people in Charlie Brown's teachers.
Right. Okay, there's the greens, there's all that. And okay, now, and then I'll take a break. Now I'm going to do the dark sides of the tents. So the red that's in shadow is this one. And then underneath that red tent, because we can see up into it, it's really dark. And that goes all the way back.
What color are you gonna paint the bottoms of the tables?
I've already painted them. What do you mean?
That's a joke.
Oh. Thinking like, where's he? Where has he been? Okay, now,
Pixar used to say, we sand the bottoms of the tables. Yeah, Pixar's the animation people that like monsters incorporated.
okay, so the dark purple.
Oh, is that like a sucker thread?
And then this dark purple goes underneath. Go there. There are some tent lines in that purple. And then the blue. I just have to get a darker version of that blue. All right, little hat on that.
Can you scoot the canvas to your left just a hair? It's going off the.
Yep, got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for pointing it out. And now this is the underneath of the tent, so it's pretty dark blue through there. That's pretty. All right, now let me just do that. Just a hint of blue with that front face. So it's
Cut
light,
you off again,
medium.
I think. Whoops.
Yeah, what happened here?
It went off and now it's sideways.
Now it's sideways. Oh, shoot. What happens there? Okay, give me a second here. Now, what happened? Why is that? No caller ID. Somebody's trying to call me. I'm gonna put delete. Now I'm back, but I'm sideways. Now I'm just gonna, I can't, I'm gonna paint a little bit of blue.
It's still sideways.
I know, I can't, I'll get there. I'm just painting the other side of this blue tint. So I've got light blue, light red, light purple, dark purple, light blue, dark blue. And I'm gonna stop there and I'll try to figure out this camera thing. Oh, turn the old blodgy tech around and we have
Upside
it
down.
all. I know. I can see what you're saying. Why this gyroscope thing just so confounding? That's not it yet. And then it'll stop and say driver mode. There we go. We got it. I'll tell you, I don't know why the camera just sitting there does things like that. It's certainly
Right.
annoying for me and worse for you. Ooh. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, still. Gonna see if I can make that go right side up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Maybe not today,
Yeah.
definitely next time.
Dave, what color did you say the napkin was again?
I used a blue with a little bit of red. Blue and red make purple.
Blue and red.
Yeah. I hope you all are changing water periodically, because when you get into these greens and then reds, things get really, really dirty, and then your colors are less clean.
A case?
So we're okay now?
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Anything you want to tell us before next week, Ned?
I was going to, but with time the way it is, next week will be and I'll send you a video. We will be limiting ourselves to 3 colors, a blue, a red, and a yellow. And we will mix all our greens, all our purples, all our oranges from just a limited palette. And the scene will be of sap buckets in a obviously attached to trees with a snowy foreground and a rock wall, and there won't be any people in it.
Yay! Okay. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Okay. My last couple, I'm just putting a few dark figures in underneath the tents, silhouettes right over here. I'll pull it up so you can see. I've got some people underneath there, but they're not as light as the foreground figures. And then these tents on the left are way too bright. So I'm going to tone them down a little bit, but I'm not going to color them all. I'm going to leave a couple sides of them a little bit lighter, but just going to tone down some of these tents a little bit. And I could say one of them might be a red tent, so a little bit of red in there.
Oh, you are putting color.
So I am toning down these tents on the left because they seem a little bit bright and a little bit flat. And I really didn't know that until right now when I'm looking at them.
So just start all over and do it on.
Well, it's,
How many times have you done paint at farmers markets?
oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, you heard me chatting with Anne Marie Reade, and in the summers, we do these at the market and people are moving and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Maureen O'Connor and Susan, help me out, who else? Do Pauline Farmers Markets. Maureen, who's our mutual friend? Emil. Emil does it. Oh, really? For what? Really? Uh-huh. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, by trying to reduce my. Well, no, we're doing really well.
And Ned, it's upside down, but this will be recorded the other way, or does it matter?
yeah. Well, yeah, when Bill
Will you
has a
send
chance.
us, will you send us, like, when you complete it, will you send us all a photograph of what you did as a completion?
Okay, I can do that. That's
Oh,
easy.
I was
And
on
then-
the wrong image. Okay, you're fine.
Yeah, the upside down one is a picture of the palette if you want to see the
Yeah.
mixtures, but
I'm gonna change that.
Thank you.
next time.
It'll be right side up on the first video, and then next week I'll figure out how to do the camera, so. Because it is handy to have the two shots.
Yeah.
Don't forget the whole thing's a work in progress.
No, I know.
I mean, Maria's gonna keep on baking until she gets it right.
She does pretty well on that score.
Yeah, but.
You use us as guinea pigs, right?
Right.
Okay.
So while you guys have been painting, I've been putting in a few sort of shadowy figures behind the tables. They're just silhouettes with some dark paint, a little bit darker than the green that was back there. I toned down some of these tents on the left. They were a little bit too light. But I think we've got a colorful scene with some action and people, people engaged doing stuff, and there's a lot to keep the eye moving around the picture.
It's wonderful.
Keep in mind, we all work our left sides of the brain very hard during the week. We balance a checkbook or make out a list for grocery shopping and that kind of thinking. And this kind of work stretches the brain on the right side, the creative side. You sort of look and say, oh, that's too light, that's too dark, I'll fix it. And you sort of lose yourself a little bit in it, and it's good to exercise those muscles in the brain. But I hope it's not been stressful, but a chance for you to kind of dive deep into something you haven't tried before.